So this will probably be a really short chat, and I don't know if anybody's coming on at all. So um, I wanted to say about a channel called Bluegrass Paranormal Adventures. Um, when they like enter a cemetery doing their investigation or something like that, they um, walk around for the spirits to get familiar with them. And that's something I think is really cool. Um, like, I don't do that, but I think it's really cool that they do that. A lot of people will just show up somewhere and start investigating without um, talking or being familiar with the area and the spirits. Hello, Sean. Um, do you think that spirits can read your mind or um, know about your history, your past, about your life? Like, would they know, like, what happened to you as a child? Or would they know, like, how you are in relationships? Or, they just, like, know that. And the other thing is, do they read your mind? Like, um, if you're thinking something, will they give you a response or a feeling that um, gives you the impression that they read your mind? Yes, I believe so. They haunt you with the past, Sean Ginger. Well, like, if you think about horror movies, a lot of times spirits and other beings will show up as the person's loved one or show up from somebody from their past. So those spirits are intelligent and they know about your past well enough to know what you fear the most or what the people that you care about look like. For example, a movie where, like, um, you know, there would be a ghost um, of a child or something. I'm getting distracted, but um, the ghost could like show up as a child, like a child or your child, um, and that is used a lot in horror movies. So um, that's an example where they would need to know something about you. Sean, they use your positive and negative memories. Um, so, and that's what it is. Like, do they know how to tap into your memories? Do they know how to tap into your trauma? Whatever good stuff. Um, and can they read your mind? Because I had some EVPs where I was going to ask, how old this spirit was. And I hadn't gotten it out of my mouth. I was just thinking about it. And the EVP said 27. So somehow a spirit knew like what I was going to ask and just said it. So that spirit was intelligent enough and tapped into me enough to um, know what I was about to say. There are other investigators who experience the same thing. They're like, "Well, I was just thinking that, and they said this," you know, which saying, "Oh well, I was thinking that." Um, it sucks that like the person didn't get the chance to say it. I didn't get the chance to say my question. The answer was there, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I was thinking about that." But I can't really prove that to other people that I was thinking about that. So it's kind of like it's cool for me, but most people may or may not believe me. But uh so can they read your mind? do they know what you're going to ask? Do they know, like, oh, this person's scared? Sean, good example was last stream when you said they showed up as your ex-husband. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Where I seen a demon one night in its demon form. And then the following morning, the first thing when I walked outside, went down the stairs, the demon was just like my ex-husband and made me think it was like my ex-husband, even though it was still demon looking. So, but the demon was like very human looking. It looked like a pinhead. So, the next morning it showed up as knowing what my ex-husband looked like. And I don't have pictures of my ex-husband. I don't. Or I do, but they're buried somewhere. You know, I remember what he looked like, so I don't need to look at pictures of him. Sean, to be fair, he does look like a demon. Well, my ex-husband is a very evil person, but I have met a lot of evil people in my life, and the number one most evil person besides my ex-husband is my father. So maybe not the most evil, but pretty close. And it's one of those things where it's like they get to enjoy life, they get to do this and that, while they've ruined other people's lives permanently. So it's just frustrating, but you still got to have faith. You know what I'm saying? You got to have faith that, you know, somehow things will do its justice or something like that. But I do believe they can read your mind, or at least some of them. Agreed. Okay, I don't know what you agree on, but I just want to say that you really got to be careful and watch your back with the people you have in your life. And that's the thing I learned from my ex-husband. That was better to have less people in your life. A very hard lesson to learn. But I do think that demons or ghosts can read your mind. I don't know like how they process things, if the ghost is young or if the ghost is older, but they may not like understand all your language. They may not understand all the concepts based off of you know, like the age, if the ghost is 2 or if the ghost is 89. So not sure how, like, to what extent that they would understand the information that you're thinking. But most people pick up on stuff like universally, and I think that even a child would have like a general guess or gut feeling on like what was going on. All the energy cemetery where the EVP told me 3 different voices to beware the person I was with. And so that is almost like, that's intelligent. Like they pick up on you, what you're thinking, your vibes, but they also were anticipating the future by telling me to beware. So that's more than just them reading your mind and stuff. That's them actually like computing in their mind, putting things together, using their ego to predict what could happen. So, and that was 3 different voices. So, but I just blew it off then. I was kind of joking to them about it and the spirits. And maybe that's why I was told 3 different times, was because I was just messing around, blowing it off like it wasn't that serious. um I do believe ghosts can tap into your past. I was doing EVP around Grove Cemetery, driving around real slow, and a couple times I passed this one grave, because I came to a stop, uh, and a spirit said, "Oh, hell, hi! There's people watching. Thank you." Um, they're okay. Now I got distracted. There was a spirit like at this one grave that on the EVP would say, "I know all about you," which is kind of intimidating because I've had a lot of experiences in my life, and a lot of things that have happened in my life, like someone, could be very judgmental of me. And so it kind of intimidates me because I feel like if they do know all about me, then they know all about my bad sides. And it makes me feel like they could be judging me, but I still go out of my way to communicate with that spirit. Um, Now and then, most of the time when I'm there, I don't go over there. I will do another live stream and dedicate it to Adventures with Regina. It's going to be around Grove, part 4, a live stream of doing the 4th section. And there's going to be 8 videos. But I promised Adventures with Regina that I would dedicate that series to her. So it's my favorite cemetery and the one that I've spent the most time in, besides Aux Sable Cemetery in Minooka, Illinois. So in the same cemetery, in an older section, like the section that has mainly graves from the 1800s, something over there was saying something about my father. Something about they knew how I felt about my father. And I was shocked because there's a lot of like history with my father, and I don't want anyone else to know that. And I don't mind if people know how I feel about my father, but it's not positive. But there are a lot of things that my father did that I tell people, well, my father taught me. So it's not like he didn't teach me anything. And it's not like we didn't have good times together. So there are positive memories. But anyway, this spirit says that knows how I feel about my father. And one time I went to the same cemetery and I have been crying for like days, it happens. And one of the spirits on the EVP said something about me crying a lot. So, and I wasn't crying then. So I feel like they somehow have access to other people's past, which we don't. In this life, we're focused directly on our individual past. But there's a place where other things, and I guess people can too, tap into other people's past, that information. And I feel like, at Round Grove, I feel like somehow they have access to other people's past. Somehow they're able to pick up on the frequency of our thoughts. Our thoughts have a frequency, and somehow they pick up on that. It's like we don't have night vision. They might, so they probably pick up on stuff and hear. They might even hear it as a physical thing, where we wouldn't. because we can't tap into other people's past. And I think even if a human being was reading your mind, like a living human being, I think that they wouldn't be as good as a spirit accessing what's in your mind. Um, I think that spirits can be in your mind in a place where there are no barriers, and that's how they get the information. So I'm going to get off the chat. So, Sean, if you want to say goodbye, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching the video. Talk to you soon. Have a good night.